Hello, AP Biology students. This video is to help you make your graphs for any report, but specifically right now, the enzyme investigation using Microsoft Excel 2003. There were 5 parts to the experiment. There were 6 parts to the experiment. You're gonna make 5 graphs. You're gonna make a graph for each of the parts, B through F. Part A was your baseline. That data is over here. Do not graph this data chart. Do not average these baselines. What's the purpose of a baseline? It is the set of data to which you compare the other data sets. So you will be graphing your group's baseline data on each of the 5 graphs that you make. Why did we put this chart in here? We needed to make sure that everyone was doing the procedure in a fairly similar manner, or else we can't compare between groups. Elizabeth and Sarah, you're out of the ballpark there. Don't use that data. Use whatever data goes with your group, group 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm not sure which group you're in. Okay, so let's make a graph of the temperature data. We need to put our baseline data in the mix here. Baseline temperature was 19 to 20 degrees, so I want to fit that data in between 4 and 37. I move my cursor till it becomes a black arrow. Left click. I come up here, I hit insert, left click, and left click on columns. Now I have a space. I'm going to pretend I'm in group 2. I left click and drag to select. I'm holding down the click. Drag to select all the data I want, no more, no less. I release the click. I push and hold control and I punch X. That's a cut command. I move my cursor here, I left click. This is where I want the data column to go. I push down control and hold it, and I push V. That is a paste command. Now my baseline is in the mix of the temperatures. But BL, who knows what BL means? We do, but anybody else reading the report may not. So I'm going to call it baseline. Also, this was not 100 degrees. I was with Elizabeth when she did it. It was 89 or 90. All right. Now, when we go to make our graphs, you're going to get rid of this time. Otherwise, you'll plot the times on the graph, and that's not where you want them. You want them on the x-axis. I've inserted the time before each of the other data sets here to help you out. Why is this empty over here? That's where you need to put your Part B data. Each group got their own Part B data. Each group plots their data. You don't need any other group's data. If you don't have your group's data, you need to get it from someone in your group. All right. I'm left clicking and holding the left click, dragging the mouse to select all the data, no more, no less, release the click. Come up here into this row. This is the chart wizard. I'm going to left click on the chart wizard. We're going to make a line graph. Why a line graph? Because lines display trends over time or categories. In this case, it is a trend over time. How much oxygen was produced every 30 seconds? We will be able to compare the slopes of the lines. The steeper the slope, the greater the rate. That's awesome. It makes a very visual image. You can tell automatically just by looking at the graph which reaction ran most quickly. All right, I'm going to click on next. That's looking good, except baseline looks goofy there. Now I wish that was a temperature. We'll have to fix that. Left click on next. Come to titles. Every graph needs a title. If you don't put a title, you're automatically at a 2 out of 4 on the rubric. Can't get any higher than that. Title should summarize what this is. Effects of temperature on catalase action. Long, but it covers it. Notice I only capitalize the first word. That's an APA formatting thing. What do the numbers on the x-axis tell me? Time. What units to measure? Minutes. What do the numbers on the y-axis tell me? Oxygen produced. What units? Milliliters. I'm going to hit next. I want to save this as a new sheet because it's easier to look at. And I click finish. Ta-da! The only thing that's, well, there's a couple things goofy. One, these numbers are in between. They need to be on the tick mark. So I move my white arrow cursor till this says category axis. And I right click. And then I left click on format axis. I go to scale and I left click. I come to this box, value Y axis crosses between categories. I unclick that and I hit OK. Now they're where I want them. Baseline looks goofy. I said we'd fix that. I'm going to make this so you can see what I'm doing at the bottom of the screen. This is chart 1. This is my first graph. If I go back to sheet 1, there's my data. I can click on this cell that says baseline and I can type in 19, insert symbol, degree, and you'll have to hunt around for the degree symbol on yours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There it is. It's all the way on the right, 7th row down. Insert, close, and then I do a capital C. And I hit enter. When I go back to my graph and make it big again so you can see it, you can see that changed for me. This graph would merit a 3 out of 4 on the rubric. That's proficient. It tells the entire story. It has a title. I know this is about temperature. I know what temperature each line represents. There's unit on both axes. Everything is correctly spelled. What makes a 4? I would make this easier to read. I think those lines need to be thicker. I move my white arrow until the white box says series, 37 degrees Celsius. I right click. I'm going to format my data series. Here where it says line, I want to increase the weight. I want to make it thicker. Left click OK. I think that looks better. Going to do the same thing here. Right click, format, weight. OK. Wait till it says 4 degrees Celsius, right click, format, weight. OK. You can't even see this one down here. So I gotta be really careful that I move it till it says series 90 degrees C. Right click, format data series. Gonna make it thicker. I still think it needs to be thicker and maybe a different color. I right click again, format. I'm gonna go with red. And I think if I come over here, that may make it thicker. Let's see. No, that didn't do it, but the red helps. This would be a 4 out of 5, or 4 out of 4. It's very easy to read. How would you print this in color? Well, or produce it in color, I should say. 1, print it in color, if you've got a color printer. 2, print it in black and white, and then take a ruler and markers and carefully go over the lines, in which case I wouldn't make them so thick. Keep them thin, and then use your markers to give the thickness. Or you can email me your report and give it to me electronically, and then these will show up. All right, we've made a graph. Let's go back to our sheet 1 and make another graph. Let's make the pH graph. Here's our pH data. Baseline was around 7-ish. We don't know for sure, we didn't take it. Move the cursor till it becomes a black arrow, left click, insert, column. Here's my baseline data, because remember I cut and drug it. I guess you could just copy it. It's up to you. I'm going to copy it now. I left click at the top, drag down and select all, no more, no less. Release the left click, Control C for copy. Position the cursor, left click, Control V to paste. This 19 degrees Celsius, oh, enter. This 19 degrees Celsius has no meaning really in the pH scheme. I don't know the pH, so I'm going to say baseline. Get rid of the time in minutes. Actually, let me show you what happens if you don't. All right, let's make a graph. Left click, drag to select all the data, no more, no less. Come up to the chart wizard, left click, line graph, left click, upper left click, next, next. Chart title, effects of pH, and it is capitalized H, on catalase action. Any letter that needs to be capitalized for a reason other than being at the first part of the sentence needs to be capitalized. X-axis is time, units is minutes, Y-oxygen is oxygen produced in milliliters. Next, new sheet, finish. Did I destroy my other graph? No, look, I have chart 1, which is temperature, and chart 2, which is pH. You can end up with 5 charts or more down here. So if something really goes wrong, you can start over and don't worry about trying to get rid of a chart. Just keep going till you get what you need. Now here's what I mean. See, there's time in minutes. I don't want that on here. And I want this down here to be in half minutes. I think we got it on the other one. Let me double check. Gotta hurry here. Chart 1. Yep, we got it there. So we want it over here to go by half minutes, not by minutes. Well, all right. Oop. I'm going to go back first thing onto my sheet, and I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to hit delete. Now, when I go back to my chart, there's still that line. I'm going to right click on that and clear it. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I do a Control Z to get rid of it. Here's that thing. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to clear it. But we still don't have our axis the way we want it. So I'm going to right click on category axis, format axis, scale. Well, for one thing, I want it on the tick marks. Number of categories. Let's see what it does. Okay. Yeah, these tick marks aren't right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. See if I can get it to do it right. I'm just going to go back to sheet 1. I'm going to make a new chart. Let's see if it'll do it. Now that I have those minutes out of there, chart wizard, line, left click, next. That's all it took. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I made a mistake, but instead of trying to figure out how to fix it, just make a new chart. Next. All right. Effects of pH on catalase action. Time, minutes. Oxygen produced, milliliters. Next. Finish. I'd like to store that as a separate sheet. I went over that too fast. Okay, there we go. Now then, I want these on the tick marks, category axis, right click, format axis, scale, uncheck the box. Okay, there we go. And you know how to make the lines thicker. Here's something you need to know. This range needs to be the same as the first graph. Here's why. That's what 37 degrees Celsius looks like. Let's see. It looks the same as pH 10, but it's not because that's 50, not 80. So I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to format the axis and I'm going to make the new maximum 80. And now that puts that line, that pH 10 line, at a place where I can truly compare it to the 37 degrees centigrade line. So all your axes need to go to this max 10, a max of 80, and the way you do that is you make the white arrow say value axis, you right click, you format the axis, you go to scale, and you go to maximum and you turn it into 80 and keep the major